trying to save the population from the disaster. Their final reports mentioned some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive, but did not go into further detail. Good morning, Monk and chat. By the way, Monk, I saw you beat Spider-Man 2. What will you play Wednesday evening? I beat the main story questline, the MSQ of Spider-Man 2. There's still a lot of side stories that are really good that I want to finish, so we probably have at least one more day of Spider-Man 2. Their final reports mention vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive, but did not go into further detail. All your servants are currently too busy dealing with consequences of the crisis to investigate its causes. What say my advisors? The death of Achilles' agents trouble me. It may not be a coincidence. Until the cause of the disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wasteland between the hives. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I am sure the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness, this tragedy a feat of spirit. I like Heinrich's plan. Heinrich, set up prohibitive cordons at the perimeter of the hives. I will draft a few orders for my informants on Dargonos. The refugees quickly realized that they would not find shelter in the hives and dispersed across the wastelands. A harsh lesson in discipline has been delivered in the capital. Von Kalix's agents have run a thorough investigation to identify many of the refugees who had managed to reach and hide in the hives. Remembering how the rogue trader had treated their relatives and neighbors, they could have plotted their revenge if only they hadn't been expelled into the wastelands. Thanks, Von Kalix. Okay, and now we get to design something on the planet. So, restoration. A new hive city will be established on top of the ruins of Scipione 84249. Lose a profit factor, gain a bunch of stuff. Okay. Let's see. Extasiums for the nobility. Palace extasiums will be constructed on top of the ruins of Scipione for the aristocracy. The dead and the dying will fertilize the gardens that will ring these pleasure chambers. What the hell? The rogue trader will get +5 bonus to all skills. Oh my god. Dude. It's like terrible thing, awesome result. Imperium. I thought that was a bong for a second. The surviving spine of Scipione will be rebuilt into a space elevator. It will be capped by an emporium, accepting those ships that are too heavy to land on the surface. -2 route costs, +1 profit, -1 security, and we get income of a bunch of weird stuff. The stat complacency always confuses me, because being complacent is usually viewed as a bad thing. But when you gain it, it's listed in green. I'm gonna take that +5 to all stats. Okay. So have we visited everything here? Think so. Alright. Let's go to the bridge. We've got at least one level up for everybody to go through. Okay. Overseer. Cannot level up toughness. Alright, strength. Let's see. Alright, we could choose an Arbites thing,
look, it's
a
the
Death
tree
Hook
of birds.
thing,
How are you today?
or one of the regular things. Shield only occupies a slot in a single weapon set. Allows wearing of power armor. That sounds great. I haven't found any. Hi, Tree. Increases wounds by half the character's level. That's certainly not bad. Hmm. Allies in a 3-cell radius will have 7% more damage. If you're more than 90% health, immune to lots of negative effects. Let's do that. Alright, Cabela. Let's do agility. Let's just give her more hit points. That's never a bad option. Hey, Mugchad. Hi, Goddess. Let's see. Birdtree says, Mug, started playing Guild Wars 1 this morning, made an Ellie. It feels tricky after the Charseer, Ascalon, and then all the missions and those massive maps doing quests. It feels tricky? Why does it feel tricky? Let's see. Pascal. What do we want to give him? Ballistic skill, I think. Medicae Mechadendrite. Give him another arm! It's like Build-A-Bear Workshop. Alright, what do we got? Da-da-da-da. Da-da. Let's do toughness. Can he take a Psyker talent at this level? Yes, he can. Psyker Terminus. There we go. Alright. Ballistic skill. Navigating around areas I can't jump over. What could be a simple straight path is a massive jaunt. Oh, yeah. So typically, if I ever had pathing issues, right, because like you can use WASD to move, right? But you could also just click on the ground to move to a spot. So if there's ever a spot and I can't figure out how to get there, I just click there and let the character figure it out. So the way that you said it, I thought you were saying Elementalist itself got tricky to play after that point in the story, and I didn't understand. I get it now. Hit points. Let's see. Fellowship, perception. Let's do perception for her. So Guide of Souls. Hmm. 10% dodge. Alright, and the last two characters, the other characters I'm not actively using in my party at the moment. So, don't have to worry about those right this second. Alright. I can click on the map and let my character go there. Yeah. Oh wait, I still need to talk to Argenta. Back to the bridge for a sec. Yes. Yes, Bird, you can. Not, to be clear, not the map. Like on the game. Like, not your mini-map, you know, but, like, anywhere in the... Like, you could click down there and your character will walk all the way, find the stairs, and go down there, you know, like that. That's what I mean, if that was unclear. So if there's ever, like, a hard-to-reach spot, you just click on the spot and just give your character a second.
Greetings.
I am waiting for you to tell me about your past and explain the strange words of the cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Of course, let us go there right away. Hey Muck, not financial advice, but S&P 500 is minus 0.17 right now. What the hell are you talking about? S&P? Soap and pencils? I don't know what you're talking about. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature on the warrant. A seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. Argenta, if thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me. With flames of fury and righteousness, but if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me. With wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the will of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first flick of a flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. In truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valancius' ship, and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. It's, for all its lawlessness, Footfall respects and worships the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the von Valancius dynasty? Yes. Now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Please continue. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness, the order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where St. Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts. And suddenly, I myself, named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was a portent and that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. So I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Why did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this ritual. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains in the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. Chastised. That was irresponsible of you. If you had gotten yourself killed on the planet, no one would have learned about its existence and the holy relic would have been lost. Holy relics cannot truly be lost, Argenta says stubbornly. When the time is right, they reveal themselves to the worthy, but I will accept this reproach and try my best to think on it. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augers failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old times, and I was certain I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic's shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak, Argenta is shaking with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished, all those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first, the cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Kunrad's betrayal. What if they are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? So how did you manage to escape the cultists? Argenta hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Lady Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided she could clear out the planet at a later time. Sadly, the only one who might have all the answers, Kunrad, escaped. Oh yes, and I sincerely hope we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he's plunged into cleansing flame. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on Footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. It's like long walks on the beach for her. So just to clarify, you were wounded, but you never found Saint Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, but I insisted on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from heretics. But I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? If the accursed Final Dawn is involved again, it is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes throughout the entire Coronis expanse. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. Don't touch me. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Okay. Okay. Map. Alright, I think, let's see, already explored. Okay. Bigger map. Alright, chart new roads. lots of stuff. So that's Key Alpha Gamma, way the heck over there. Alright, lots of stuff. Forge a path of US6. Alright, let's see. Let's decrease the threat there. Ship's enforcers notified officers about a strange insect-like creature appearing on the astropathic chamber deck. The entity was destroyed, but the incident was recalled a few days later when one of the astropaths lost his mind, shrieking about a splitting headache. The psyker perished shortly after, and the autopsy revealed the presence of countless bloated larvae consuming his brain. The corpse and the insects were safely disposed of. The ship left the hostile immaterium and returned to real space. Oh, how nice. Chart new routes. Alright, visit this system. Hang on a second. Let's do that. Oh, what? Hold on. I messed up a few settings. No. Okay, someone said give him a coffee. Man. Alright, and let's scan that. Alright. Let's see. Dead world. Nothing interesting here. Okay. Next planet. After analyzing the auger data, the officers were surprised to discover that the planet was once covered with oceans. Long ago, an unknown cataclysm caused the seas to dry out and turn the world into a lifeless desert. The most amazing discovery of all was the skeletal remains of colossal oceanic organisms, some large enough to be seen from orbit. From orbit! Life is fragile even for creatures this enormous. Like, that's not talking about whales at that point. $50 XP. Alright. Oh, I'm checking these off. Alright. Dead world. Wow. Okay. Well, just a bunch of XP here. Alright. Next solar system. Another watch aboard the void ship has come to an end. The Lord Captain, having given his final orders for the day, retired to his chambers for some divine rest. However, the Rogue Trader's slumber was disturbed by horrific nightmares plaguing his mind. Fate wrenched the Lord Captain out of his clutches of these agonizing warp dreams, only for him to witness the nightmares seeping through the flimsy membrane of the Geller field and taking physical shape on the ship's Sanctum Sanctorum. To battle. Damage taken by Bodie McBoatface, 6. Demons coming in. We got demons on the walls. Oh, they're. Oh, wait. Are they in my. Oh, no, I don't even have my people. Are they, like, in my room?
In this tapestry of a world,
Well done. Okay, I vaguely remember this in my last playthrough, and it was a lot harder last time because I was a squishy healer support, and this is really rough. But this time, I made my character the frontline tank, so I think I'll be okay. Daemonettes. Possessed Technomat. Alright, let's do protect on me.
Wicked thought. What if a wicked thought? A genius at work.
In ecstasy.
Schemes
handle
within
this.
the schemes.
Emperor, protect me. Don't touch me.
Embrace excess.
Look out.
Burn monotony.
The navigator's here.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Oh my god, look at this. Navigator, please be so kind as to open your third eye.
Navigator's might.
You get an extra cookie for lunch.
No! These ruby flashes are choking me. If only that were possible. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Brink of agony.
A wicked thought.
I am unsatisfied.
Let's see. A wicked thought.
I haven't seen the dog attack yet.
Into sensation.
Cabela's here. Goth girlfriend, help!
Another foe.
Oh, shoot, I didn't even see this one.
Isn't this a job for the sir? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
My soul sings in
Behold my artistry! A genius at work.
Hold on, I need to read Protect again. Choose an ally, Star has to be against that ally, doesn't have to P is close to 100, Star has to start against adjacent enemies. Oh, that hit all three of those, that's nice. Another order is given. And didn't he have, hang on. Didn't I have something on him? Daemonette has an aura that debuffs you. Oh, okay. When the Cybermastiff hits the apprehended enemy or an enemy adjacent to the protected ally, it gains +1 to key stats. That's what I was thinking of. When it hits an enemy that when it's using protect, it gets +1 to all stats. And that just keeps making it stronger.
Schemes within schemes. What if? Let's see.
Protect me. Don't touch me.
Pascal, my man! Wait, whose turn is it? Okay, I gotta be careful. I'm... Alright, let's try not to hit the dog with this.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain, as duty demands. If I may.
I am your blade and shield.
Alright, let's see. Apprehend
A
on that
wicked
guy.
thought.